Welcome again to this episode of Stress and Purpose in Life. This podcast is for you guys who want to transform your lives and live a life less of stress and more of purpose. And today we have a really inspiring guest, Barry Carey, who is all the way from Brisbane, Australia. And you are a man full of courage and strength, and your story is a remarkable one that I think will resonate with many people. So, very warm welcome to you, Barry. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Just I'm good. A
Yeah,
lot going on in my
great.
life at the moment.
Yeah,
I've
and you
got
have
my,
gone.
I've got my hands in many pies, as they would say. I've got my hands stuck in everywhere. I'm going to every event under the sun, and I'm a busy man working in construction. And doing all my health and fitness stuff as well. And yeah, I'm a busy man. But apart from that, there hasn't been much happening the last week. With the storms up here in
Yeah.
the Gold Coast, they've been just horrendous. Oh, the, the beach is more or less gone.
Oh my God, we heard some
Yeah, there's not.
about it in the news. It must
Yeah,
be
it's
quite
just.
scary.
Yeah, it was just, well, they were expecting like a category 2 or 3, but it never. I don't even really think it might have been close to a category 2, but um, it wasn't as bad as they were sort of making it out to be. But it was good
Oh,
that they sort of like prepared people for what may come.
yeah.
That
But
makes
if the
sense.
beach is gone, then it must have been quite a
But
storm
the
anyway.
beach, yeah, it was the winds were the waves were crazy. The
Oh
waves
my
were
God. Uh,
some of the waves were the size of 3 4 story buildings, I reckon.
okay. Great,
And
great that you
it's
are
just
good anyway. That it was not that horrible.
yeah,
But it was really
yeah, but
pictured as really, really horrible on news.
yeah, weather it was absolutely hammering down rain.
Uh,
It was yeah, blowing a gale. It was pretty bad weather.
okay, but it's better now, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it was a
Okay,
beautiful day today. Yeah, the
perfect.
the beach is. You walk 5 meters out onto the beach. I was down at the beach today. Went for a run. I was running 5K today. So um,
Mm,
yeah,
great.
just nice and cruisy run. But you walk 5 meters out onto the beach, and there's a drop of about 2 meters.
Okay,
Drop. It's like a
great.
cliff edge. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's crazy what the storm did to the beach. It was nuts. But
Yeah.
that's Mother Nature, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah,
we are not here to talk about the weather, but it was really
well,
something on the news, so I needed to
yeah,
reflect on that. But you're here because you're a survivor of suicide attempt and battling mental health and also find your healing through sports. You told me already across the country, you're a professional athlete.
yeah.
So your story is really an inspiring one for many people, I think. So if you start off, I mean, you have the power of the mind and human spirit in you, and let's go to learn from you here on this show because I think many people are struggling with mental health, and also many people, unfortunately, are thinking about suicide or
Mm.
have some kind of depression that make them feel that life's not worth living. So this show is really important. So if we start off by if you can introduce yourself to the people, who are you, and a little bit about your journey also, from where you were and where you are today.
Yeah, absolutely, Stina. Well, I grew up in a little village called Maguire's Bridge. Not many people would know it, to be honest. There's a very small population, about 2,500 people. Um, I was born in Dublin. I grew up in Northern Ireland, though more or less my whole um going up in my childhood and through my teenage years. I was into adulthood. I was in lived in Maguire's Bridge. Um, and yeah, I was a very active child. Um, I was running amok sometimes, I suppose. Getting up to no good. But that's what kids do. They just, you know, everything's an adventure to them. You know what I mean? And that's the way I was for uh, the kind of the first sort of period of my life.
Yeah.
Um, till I was about 9. and um, my father got tragically killed in a lorry accident,
Mm.
and it was just a huge blow to the family, a huge blow to everyone's confidence, a huge blow to my mum. Like she had she had a young 2 year old, a 4 year old, a 7 year old, and I was 9. So it was extremely difficult on her. Um, trying to raise 4 kids on her own, trying
Yeah,
to
I
run
can
a shop. We own the shop. We own the funeral parlor. Like, like trying to do all that stuff while, she just lost her loved one or her husband.
imagine.
Um, very difficult times. It affected me too through my end of primary school exams, which was around that time. I just struggled to focus in school, and my attention wasn't really there. I was pretty pretty traumatized from what had just happened,
Mm.
and asking questions. Well, why my dad? Why I'm only 9? Like, why I'm the eldest? I knew him the most. Why? Just, but that's life, I suppose, and you have to move on. You try and move on anyway, but it affected my anxiety quite deeply,
Mm.
and it gives you a sort of a very low self esteem, and you your confidence starts to wither.
Mm.
And at that stage, I'd started to get bullied. I was bullied quite heavily when I was younger. Um, and yeah, my sister explains that it was quite horrific. Um, and yeah, it was probably too much for me to process at the time, or even sort of remember, because
Mm.
I did go through such a difficult time in my life.
And how old were
Um,
you when you got bullied then? And what was the time
um,
period prior to your
bullied
father's death?
between like was bullied after about, while everyone's kind of very sympathetic and stuff towards you, and to do the best to help you when something's fresh. But around around from when I was at 10, I probably got bullied before that as well, from when I was at a young age.
Mm.
But from around I was about 10 up till I was like 15, I got quite um quite heavily bullied
But that
and
was
laughed.
1 year after. You said you were 9 when your father
Yeah,
passed.
my father. Yeah, yeah.
So it was after your father passed. Do you think that has something to do with that? That you were struggling at home, and then that appeared also in school? Oh.
Yeah, well, it had a major impact on my confidence. It had a major impact on the way I viewed life. There was a lot of I had a lot of I had a lot of fear around death. I had intense health anxiety. I
Mm.
thought you know I thought that everything and anything was wrong with me. When when there was no reason to be scared. There was a young fit lad, and yeah, but the more you believe something in your mind, the more that your subconscious can't tell the difference
Mm.
between if
No.
it's true or not true. So I had basically convinced myself that I was sick, and yeah, and I kind of got a bit of bullying from that, because people started to think that I was paranoid, or sort of like losing my mind.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was quite it was quite intense. And yeah, I got thrown out of the changing rooms naked, in front of school. Um, I got you know I came home with crows in my lunch bag. I you know I I was Yeah, it was just
Was a lot
few.
going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think many
oh,
people that are bullied in school have different kinds of similar stories as you
yeah,
have. It's
yeah,
this extreme that you tell me about getting naked and then what a
yeah.
shame and what a humiliation
Uh,
for yourself at that
yeah.
young age.
Well, like I
But
was seen as sort of like a weak link, if that makes sense.
yeah,
People just wanted to take advantage of that, and you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
y-
and it says, of course, if the confidence is lacking because of your personal, many people are getting bullied because if we talk about bullying now, many people get bullied because they have something that
yeah, because
about the
they
confidence and
feel,
self-esteem
mm,
and the bullies as well, they are also people are bullying other people, they have also a story, so everybody has a story, good or
yeah,
bad, but being bullied is always something that is gonna be with you for the rest of your life in some way. And how do you see that today, because you have done a journey to becoming a professional athlete now? I mean, that's the
yeah,
mindset shift, I can imagine, that is
yeah,
really huge. But
yeah. Like,
is that affecting you somewhere what now as well in different kind of situation?
yeah. Well, I had to work. I had to work a lot on my self confidence. When I was 13, 14.
Yeah.
It was kind of like it was at a stage where I was, my mind was that messed up when I was a young teenager because I was going through all that bullying and I had all this like health anxiety and all this fear of death. And there was a few deaths in my family as well, and um, it it increased that fear, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
yeah, I struggled to manage to go to school. I didn't go to school for a period of a few months. My
Mm.
mum, my mum tried to chase me around the backyard like I was kicking up tantrums. You know, uh,
Mm.
it just I was not a settled young lad. I was, yeah, fairly tormented, and I just couldn't handle going in there.
No.
So eventually, my mum, um, got me a counselor, and I went seeing the counselor for a year and just worked on myself. Worked on little techniques I can use to like uh, make my anxiety not as bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, after a year of seeing the counselor, he had put me on Prozac, and that helped. I started to come out of my shell when I was about 15,
Mm.
um, around 14, going on 15, and my confidence was growing, and I started to be more social, and I started to like uh, people could see it in me, they could see changes in me, and I built myself up from there right through until I was 21. When I was 21, it was like when I was 17, there was a lot of like obviously drink was introduced to me, and I, like any young teenager,
Yeah.
we we went at it and we went at it hard. Um, on the weekends, I played football, I played GAA, so that um kind of stepped me aside from that. Like it was yeah, when I was 21, my mum encouraged me to move over to Australia. Um, and yeah,
But did you move
I don't.
alone? Did you move with your mother? Did you move by yourself to Australia? And
No,
your mother?
no, I didn't. I
No.
didn't. I didn't move. I didn't move by myself. No, I went with. I went over with four other guys from
Okay.
my village, from the football club, and yeah, four other lads called Sean, Stephen, Barry, and Mark,
Yeah.
and some really good friends of mine, and we went over, and yeah, we went over to Thailand first, and we had a month there, and we went to Perth was our first stop in Australia. Done a bit of farm work there, and then up to Melbourne, and then up to Sydney, 2008. Sydney, Sydney in 2008. We landed in Sydney December 2008. And then I was there for the best part of um, there in Sydney for the best part of 2008 to 2017, I think it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my time in Sydney, when I landed in Sydney, we got involved with another uh, GAA club, a Gaelic club, which is football with a round ball,
Yeah.
and we got into a good social group, and we're having lots of fun, and we were going on lots of boat parties, and obviously there was lots of meet and greets. You know, we we were having the times of our lives. Like, like we were young, you know, we were fit, we were healthy. Like, we weren't too concerned about our health at that stage. I know I wasn't anyway.
Yeah.
Not as much as I was the period I went through when I was 14. But yeah, we really enjoyed ourselves for about. I remember for good the guts of 3 years. We really we really enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of Sydney. We've seen the harbour. We walked over the harbour bridge. You know, we were down around Bondi Beach. We were in Coogee. We done the whole round. Um, the great weather.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the coffee's fantastic. Probably, probably,
I need to
I
go
would
to
probably,
Australia someday.
I'd probably go as far as say it's probably the best coffee in the world.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah,
But you didn't live that healthy, but you lived the life
yeah, I
maximum.
lived the
Yeah.
life. So basically, I got into work, and from Friday when I finished at 5 o'clock or whatever time it was, it was straight to the pub. It was get the schooners into me or get the pints into me, and that went on for the whole weekend. And that was on a numerous amount of occasions. Um, and it just kind of there was no escaping it. There was something on every weekend. There was somebody either coming out, um, and you had the FOMO, fear of missing out,
Mm.
or it was someone's birthday, or there was no escaping going out. We were in the middle of a big community of about 30 or 40 Irish, and we all lived near each other, and there was no escaping really the party life. And so when I was 24, um, I I went through a very difficult time with my health anxiety. Um, Very difficult. It came back to bite me really, really hard. I started to become paranoid again, thinking that there was something wrong with my health. Um,
Yeah.
thinking all sorts of things. I thought I had diabetes. I thought I had high blood pressure. I thought I had AIDS. I was going to the doctor 20, 30 times in, in a year, or like every few weeks I was at a doctor. Um, can you check this? Can you check that? Like
Yeah.
I was convinced that there was something wrong with me when in reality, it wasn't my physical health, it was my mind. I had convinced myself that I was sick, that I was physically sick. And when you convince your mind's very smart, so the more you feed your mind that negativity, the more your mind believes it, and the more the mind brings up the symptoms like sweating, and you know, like
Yeah.
you
Can
feeling
trick
like
your
you're
mind
gonna
to
die.
anything.
You
Yeah.
trick your mind into anything because it's so powerful. Like I was actually convinced, no, I'm dying here. I'm dying here. This like
But you
this.
actually had some kind of accident also because you
Yeah, but
did
it
your
it
sports,
it
but in
yeah
2020 you had an accident. What
yeah yeah.
that
So
after or prior to this or
that was after.
after?
So
Yeah.
I got through that period. I um went and seen a guy in England, um an anxiety recovery expert in England called Charles Linden, who really had with my mindset. It was all kind of around diverting my mind and turning my mind to focus on things that were positive in my life. And, you know, trying to turn my mind away from the reoccurring thoughts that I had. And then when I got into boxing. I had my first fight when I was 26. I had my first amateur fight when I was 26. So that was an amazing that I swung it around. I got my confidence back. And then when I was 27, I had another dark moment. I had a mate who I know very well. I won't mention any names because I think a lot of that guy. Um, he ended up getting schizophrenia, and I have a family member that has that disease, and
Okay.
it's heartbreaking to see, and it was
I can
heartbreaking for
imagine.
me. It was heartbreaking for everyone around him that knew him.
Mm.
It was a very hard time. I kind of went into a bit of a deep depression, and yeah, it was a hard time. But I got over that. I got over that hurdle too. I went and went back to a counsellor. A good mate of mine, Mark,
Okay.
really, 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 really helped me. Like really helped me, and he came to counselling sessions with me. You know, he you know he was there by my side, and as was a few other very good friends. But I turned the corner for a few years. In when I was 27, I stopped. I stopped playing football. I stopped drinking. Like I stopped. I said, "That's it. I've had
Mm.
enough. Alcohol's having no purpose whatsoever on my life.
Mm.
It's affecting my mental health deeply. I need to stop this." And I just woke up one morning and I said, I put the foot down and I said, no more. And I didn't touch a drink for 11 years. I got involved in athletics. I was in, I was training in athletics for about 6 months to a year. And before I know it,
Mm.
I'm training with Olympians. I'm training with Commonwealth gold
Uh,
medalists. I'm training with, some of the best
re-
runners in the world.
yeah, a really successful
Um,
career for you, right?
yeah,
Because
I,
going from where
yeah,
you were and to this is it's really inspiring. Good for you.
and I made a move down to Melbourne as well. Obviously, I'd had a lot of adversity through my athletics career as well. A lot of injuries, a lot of setbacks, but I'd have had stress fractures. I've had shin problems, stress reactions, you name it, back problems, lower back problems. But I was very stubborn, and
Mm.
I I was going to find a way around. I was going to find a way around to get myself right again, and I did. When I moved to Melbourne after my stress fracture in my pelvis, I got a fracture in my pelvis from overuse. Um, but I'm not surprised because I was running 140 kilometers a week. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning to
Oh,
for my
that's why
first
you
run.
were so early in the middle of the night when we were speaking. You were awake then training.
Yeah, I was up. Yeah, I was up at 3 in the morning to go my first run. Then
Oh.
I go to work. Then I come home. I do another run. I was running 7 days a week. I was relentless, like working hard in construction as well.
Mm.
And then my body just kind of all fell. My body fell apart basically because
Yeah, you can have mental fatigue in your body also
yeah,
if
the
you train too. Yeah,
burnout. I basically
yeah.
went through burnout, and yeah, but I came back from that. Obviously, I was out for a while with the stress fracture, but I came back from that, and I ended up running the PB for 10K in Melbourne. I ran 33 minutes for 10K. I ran 5K in 16 minutes. I ran a 77:40 half marathon. Um, yeah, so and I won. I was winning local fun runs for fun.
Yeah.
Like I was a very talented athlete, a very talented um, uh, yeah, very talented runner, and I had one of the best running coaches in Australia called Sean Williams, who I rate really, really highly. But moving on from that, I had a bit, I had a bit of a work accident. But I'm not going to get into it. But I suffered a lot of trauma from it, and
Yeah.
I didn't, I didn't, I didn't work for about 6 months. And
And
yeah, I didn't
when
work
was
for.
this then? Is it a long time
That
ago
was
or?
in 2000, it was in 2019. I didn't work for
Okay,
about
2018.
6 months, and my mental health just deteriorated because the longer you lay with your thoughts and the longer you have nothing to do, the longer that you know, uh, the longer you leave things and the longer you don't take steps back that you need to take steps when you need to take steps back, the
Mm.
lower your confidence becomes until you become a nervous wreck, and that's what happened in 2020. I went home for Christmas,
Yeah.
and I came back in February 2021. I was only back a short space of time, and my whole world fell apart. I was a bit. I was suicidal. I didn't want to live anymore, and I thought, maybe I called my best mate Mark and I said, "Here, we need to sort this out. My head's about to go, like it's just seriously about to go." And we had a big discussion on what plans would be best. Would I go home? Would I see my auntie, and would I go for a holiday, see my auntie in San Francisco, and kind of
Mm.
just clear my air and clear my head a bit. And so what happened was I ended up going to San Francisco, but she was working and I was home alone in her place, and just more time to think and just more time to rack my brain. And it wasn't the best move I made, to be honest. I actually got worse. And she brought me to psychologists. She brought me to support groups. She done everything she could for me. She
Mm.
was, she basically, it was at a point where I can remember I was up sitting watching TV in her place, and I was shaking like a leaf. I was shaking like a leaf. And she's like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Look, I don't know. I'm just losing it."
Mm.
And I just got a complete nervous breakdown. She nearly had to hold my hand crossing the traffic lights and stuff like that. It was horrendous. It was a
Was
horrible
that one of
time.
your darkest
And
moments when you, because you we are,
before the big accident,
yeah,
that was before the big accident.
yeah.
That was when I started to sort of fall. We decided then that the best move for me would be um, go home, be around my family, um, try and get myself together there.
Mm.
I got home. It gave me a bit of short term peace for but it wasn't long. Um, I started in a job um, in a factory. I wasn't really enjoying it, um, and yeah, I was going into work every day with dread, um, because I knew all that I was going to be thinking about was I was in my own little world.
Yeah.
All I was thinking about every day was death. All I was thinking about every day was death. For about 3 months, I was I was running those roads trying to clear my head. And on a numerous amount of times, I had this thought: I'll just end it here now. I'll just run out in front of this lorry and I'll just be done with it.
Hmm.
But I held myself back from that on numerous amount of times, because I did think about the family. I did think about the people that I'd be leaving behind. I did think about the pain that I would leave behind with others as well. But in the end, it just got too much. I had, I had a, I ended up going into hospital for the first time, into rehab for the first time. I took my took a took a knife to my neck in the kitchen, and yeah, it
Hmm.
was my sister saved me that day. She saved me
Great.
that day, and I'm grateful that she did. I
Mm.
got out. I went to hospital. I was there for 10 weeks, probably the hardest 10 weeks I've done,
Mm.
and I got out, but I was only out 6 weeks until I went back in, because that was when I woke up one morning, uh, one Friday morning, and I was at the kitchen table. I was just about to eat my breakfast, and I just remember I just burst out in tears on the table. My mother was standing in the kitchen. She says,
Oh.
"Barry, what's wrong with your son? Like, what's going on? Like, tell us what's happening." I said, "Just, mommy, I just can't get my head straight. I just,
Mm.
it's just, I just cannot think straight. I just, um, I've no motivation to go on anymore.
Mm.
Um, my life's a shambles. My life's a mess. I
That's
just
very,
can't
very
live."
powerful that you open up to tell somebody that when you feel that, because many people are in silence and never do that. And if you do, you
Yeah,
can
well, I did.
get
I was
out.
quite open with the struggles.
Uh,
Most of the time that I was going through, I was quite open with the struggles.
mm.
Um, and my mum tried a numerous amount of times, like, to at me, like, but there's only so much you can do for someone
Mm. Yeah.
until they realise that they have to do the work themselves too to come back. But the biggest attempt of taking my own life was that Friday. She suggested that I go for a run, and I said, you know what, it may help me, because it helped me on a numerous amount of occasions in the past to kind of get a bit of peace and to clear my head a little.
Mm.
But somewhere along the way, I don't know what happened. My mind just snapped. I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the pain. I burst out crying while I was running along the road, and I just can remember saying, I could see a lorry coming, and I could just remember saying, um, "Please, God, forgive me for what I'm about to do, but I just can't handle this anymore." And that's when I made the move, and that's when I got hit, and that's when I woke up. I woke up on the side of the road. I didn't know where I was. I had my cousin standing over me. I was completely delusional. I did not know what was going on. I was in severe pain. I broke my leg in a number of places. I had broke my ribs. I'd bruised my lung. I was a mess. I'd split my head open. I got brought to the Royal Hospital in Belfast. Um, and yeah, it was the most difficult time of my
But you
life.
were so lucky that you're still alive.
So lucky. Um, so lucky. I was blessed that day. I was blessed that day. I do not know how I survived that hit, because most people wouldn't have.
No.
And yeah, it was the most horrendous time in my life. I was Everything was just
Yeah.
taken away from me. I was just felt hopeless. I was for about a week. I could not move in the bed. I literally could not move in the bed. I was uh, like, I had to get nurses had to wash me. They give me like a container to urinate into, and they give me a carton to do my other, like, bathroom services, and um yeah, it was
Mm.
horrendous. It was, what would the word be? It was embarrassing. It was everything you could think of. You
Yeah.
know, I couldn't move. Like, I was in bits, basically. About 2 weeks in, I started to slowly get some movement back in my shoulders and stuff like that, and managed to get myself right again. But it was a rocky road.
Yeah.
Went back to rehab for 6 weeks, and in that period of 6 weeks, I really worked on getting myself moving again and trying to do the rehab that physios had, you know, prepared for me, and
Mm.
doing the brain work as well, because I had to do the brain work. I had no other choice. I had the journal. I had to write. My mum suggested I try write songs. I tried to write poems. I did all that.
Oh,
It really did help.
beautiful.
it really did help because like I had no other choice. I had to do it. It was either sit with all my negative thoughts and feeling like the world is a horrible place, and or I could, try and divert my mind some way, do something productive.
Mm.
And yeah, the nurses were fantastic in there too. They were fantastic. They'd done their best to, try and accommodate me in any way they could. I tried numerous amounts of medication, and yeah, it was a
Oh.
rocky road. But after 6 weeks, I went back for an X-ray, uh,
Yeah.
and 12 weeks. Sorry, I went back for an X-ray, and the doctor, the um, the X-ray specialist couldn't believe the recovery that I'd made. She just could not believe it. Like my bones and everything were all healed. Like it was just she couldn't. It was just a remarkable recovery. It was blessed that it turned around so quick. Like I was in a wheelchair for
Yeah.
nearly 2 months, and that was very degrading. But I fought back hard, and I got on the road. I started
Mm.
walk jogging after 12 weeks post accident, and then I moved over to England. I wanted to build my confidence. I moved over in 2021. I wanted to build my confidence. I moved in with my brother. I was there for 6 months. There were some dark times. There were some good times. There were some dark times again. But I
Yeah.
just kept at it and kept at it. And eventually I built up enough confidence to go and live on my own in a place in Loughborough. I started training again. Uh, consistently. I started training again. I started putting goals in front of myself,
Yeah.
and I was setting goals to aim to get back to Australia, and that's what I've done. I, I really put my mind and soul into everything. I started doing cold showers. I started breath work, the Wim Hof method. I everything journaling. I done everything I could to get my mind into a state that you know it was manageable, that life was manageable. I
Mm.
went to energy healers. I got Reiki done. I got everything done, and um, it was a massive help to me. I felt it was a massive help to me anyway. And I built up the confidence, and I was working before I knew it. I was working two jobs. I was working
Mm.
in a factory, and I was working in a bar. And my sister and everyone around me couldn't believe the transformation that I had made at the time because, like, prior to that, a year prior to that, or even less, uh, like I was hardly fit to make myself a cup of tea. Never mind, like
Mm. That's
working
amazing.
two jobs. So I made the move then to back to Australia, and transformations that I've made since then has been incredible. But it wouldn't be without the help of some amazing people, um, some amazing people that you know give me the self belief that why why just be ordinary? Why can't I
Mm.
be just extraordinary? And I started to build my self confidence. I started getting involved in courses with mental health. I'm qualified in mental health first aid.
Yeah.
I became a qualified ice bath instructor. So in the health and fitness, um, in the health and fitness um, zone, and I got back to my athletics, and I came top 20 in Sydney after being in a wheelchair 2 years
Uh,
previous to that. I ran top 20 in Sydney, 34 minutes for 10K, and I ran a record out west. I
mm.
ran 16 minutes for 5K. I broke the record by over a minute out west
Oh,
in Sydney.
great.
Um, so it was like when I put my mind to something, I can make it happen. But not
Yeah, I
only did I
can
do
hear
that,
you. I hear you. What an amazing person. I mean, going through this kind of setbacks, and then you still have your mind and your courage and your strength to really keep up on. And I think you are you in a good place now, or are you like, because this is not a long
yeah,
time ago,
yeah, yeah,
2021.
yeah, 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 yeah. 2022. I'm in a good place now. Um, but like I like after I started going to events and stuff.
Yeah.
And the man that really changed, the man that made me really think different was JT Fox. He's an entrepreneur from Canada,
Yeah.
and he really made me think different. Like I went to a lot of his events. He gave me the opportunity to be in the room with some fantastic people, like Vince Vaughn, Caroline Ballinger,
Yeah,
and
the person on
so
this
many other great.
podcast cover, who is that? That person that you are with, who is that? Is that some of those guys? Yeah, on the pod cover.
No, the on the
You remember?
which one was that? My most recent picture, I got the opportunity. It was actually Rob Evans,
Oh yeah.
from Melbourne, that give me the opportunity to have dinner with uh what's his name?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Brian
I
Austin
don't know
Brie.
his name, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he was in. Yeah. Oh, Brian's such a great guy. He's just like me and you. It's just like having a conversation with just a
Yeah.
normal human being. He's so
Yeah.
humble. He's such a great guy, and I cannot go by mentioning. Part of my transformation was like Ethan Donati and Ethan Casidas as well. So, like, I want to give a really big shout out to those people because they made me think different. They made me think different, and they made me believe what was possible if I just get myself uncomfortable sometimes. Sometimes in order to grow, you got to get yourself uncomfortable.
That is how
And
you grow
those
often,
fellas
right?
help me.
So you get.
And you have to get connected with people. If you want to get into health and fitness, if you want to get into the entrepreneurial space, you have to go to events. You have to market. You have to market yourself. You have to build connections. And those people help me do that. And the the person that I'm most happy with at the moment is Marco Robinson, because he's given me this amazing opportunity to write this Start Over series book. It's just amazing. I'm so grateful that Mark will give me that opportunity. He's a great fucking guy from the UK.
I agree.
He's a legend
how he
of a
had
man.
connected everybody.
He has so much. He has so much heart. He has so much authenticity. He puts his arse in the line for everybody. He's 100 authors. He's over 100 authors in this Start Over series. That's incredible, and that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to take on, but he also has an awesome team behind him, like Michelle and all the other people that he has, like Simon, and in the background doing the work.
But I tell
incredible.
everybody, because we are in the
He's just an
same. I'm
incredible
also in
man.
that. I'm in the book one. Which book were you in? You said
Yeah.
book 4 or 5.
Volume 4, which is on pre-order is 3rd of April, I think.
Could be.
You can get on the wait list now, but yeah, like I'm just so grateful for Marco Robinson for giving me that opportunity. I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and as JT Fox says, it only takes one phone call. It only takes one opportunity to change your life, and Marco Robinson has made that possible.
Yeah, but he has gone.
So
I think it's also a journey to therapeutical journey to writing your story, writing your chapter.
Yeah, it's so therapeutical. Like it goes really deep into your past, and it helps with the trauma that you've been through, because you can actually, I see myself in stage of writing the book, and I could find myself becoming very emotional, and I was able to let emotions go. I was able to let go of the past. It was hurtful, but I was able to let go of those situations. But I think, like, what I've done is just incredible. I'm so proud of myself. Like if you look back 4 years ago, I would have never seen myself.
Yeah, it's 4
years ago.
I mean, it's not that long time ago when I hear a story. It's not that long time ago.
Yeah,
but I think many people have done that
No,
transformation from like 2020 was magical year. I think it was many people like made some kind of going from a setback situation
Yeah,
to really combat and then transforming your life. I think many have that from
yeah,
that year. So it's really
yeah,
strange. It's I have it also. I
yeah,
think many people in that book that we are in also have it. That they have like that year was some special year for everybody, and it's not time
yeah.
ago.
Well, I've done so many things. I've done so many things since that. Like, I've walked 100K from Brisbane to the Gold Coast in 24
Oh,
hours. I've done it with 4 other people. It was for kidney health, to raise money for
yeah,
kidney
I've seen
disease.
that. Yeah, yeah,
So,
good.
you know, I've,
Yeah,
I've done a lot, and I'm proud of myself, and I can't wait for the next 6 months to come because everything just keeps getting
yeah.
better and better. Like last week was, I'm sitting across the table from Brian Austin Green having dinner. Like it's just, I'm
What's
like, what
happening?
is going on here?
Yeah,
Is this real life?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So like anything is
yeah.
possible if you believe in it.
I
Anything
agree.
is possible. You just have to. The more you tell your mind, the more you let your subconscious know that you know anything's possible. Then before you know it, the subconscious
No,
doesn't know
I
the
agree.
difference between it starts to
Yeah.
believe that it is right.
And we
So it
continue with
starts,
this, we
it starts
continue with that
moving forward
mindset
in
now
it.
because many things can happen, and then you get back to the old habits and the old you, but you have
Yeah.
to stay focused and go ahead because I think if you can just if we
Mm.
wrap it up now because uh, your story is an inspiring story.
Yeah.
You are a really role model for many people, and I think that having those setbacks it really makes you stronger. So, would you like to give something away from? I mean, you have many key takeaways, I think, from your story. But is it something that you would like to give to the viewers from your own perspective on living and with the struggle that you have been through, and also how you can proceed to really not to feel bad anymore, just shifting the mindset or whatever it means for you. Can you give some advice there to people that are looking or viewing now, looking at this show?
Yeah. Don't give up. Dig your heels into the ground and fight back. Do not give up. Do not let anyone talk you down. Do not let anyone drag you away from your dreams. Have a vision and have a tunnel vision and a focus, and don't let anyone drag you away from your dreams. Don't let anyone do that. Believe in yourself that much that you know it's going to be possible. And you're going to have people that are going to pull you down and try and pull you apart. But you got to think to yourself, I'm not listening to them. It's my life. I make my own decisions. I know where I'm going. They don't know where I'm going. I know where I'm going. I'm going to make those decisions. And
Powerful.
yeah, that's that's
That
the,
is
that's the best
a
advice.
very
And just work on
wonderful.
yourself. Just work on yourself.
And I think
Just work on yourself every single day. Journal, um, read, you know, do whatever it takes. Get out and exercise. Run 5K a day if you have to. To get a bit of an endorphin rush, to settle your nervous system. There's all these things you can do with breath work. Breath work's amazing. It settles your whole nervous system. It cold showers helps as well. It it helps with your dopamine receptors. It raises your dopamine levels. It takes inflammation down in your body. There's heaps of benefits to breath work and cold water
mm,
exposure. Like
yeah.
it's amazing. If anyone is struggling right now, they don't know where to look, I suggest they get the Wim Hof method. They read that book because that book changed my life for the better. It opened my eyes,
Yeah.
and
He is very
yeah,
famous now.
it's yeah. Just
Mm.
don't give up on yourself. Do not give up on yourself. And you know, if you're looking for hope, you know, even if you don't believe it, I believe that there's a higher power, but even if you don't believe it, try and believe in something. Try and have a purpose. Try and believe that there is something after we're gone. You know, hold hold that vision that, you know, there is something special after I go. You know, so
Wonderful.
there's a purpose behind me living, and that's what you got to hold on to. You really got to hold on to that and cherish it, and you know, live every day like it's your last, because we're here today and we could be gone tomorrow. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. 90% of the time, that's not the case, but there's that slight chance that, you know, it may happen. So do all you can when you're alive. Be all you can when you're alive, and be the only, because there is only one of you. Like, there is only one of you. You have purpose. You have gifts. You have talents. Use them to the best of your ability, and do not take in any negativity that comes your way. Get rid of the negative people in your life. Get rid of them, because they're only going to pull you down. But get rid of them in a nice way, obviously. You know, you just kind of got to remove that from your life. Anything that's toxic, get it out of your life, because it's serving you no purpose. Be around winners, be around leaders, and your life will change. Be around positive people. Positive people will bring you up. Positive people will boost you up. Positive people will, like, put their arm around you and say, "Come on, we can do this. You can do this. You're better than this, and you can make this happen." Like, so stay away from the negative and focus on the positive and focus on all the good things. Do make gratitude lists, and yeah, if you're struggling with alcohol addiction, if you're struggling with gambling addiction, if you're struggling with, you know, whatever addiction it may be, you have enough willpower if you put your mind to it, and you've got enough support around you. You just have to go and get past the help. So that's mainly what I've got to say
Amen to
today.
you. You're amazing. It's so powerful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thanks.
I don't.
Okay. Well, we wrap it up
Yeah,
now.
we wrap it up. I'm so thankful that you are on my show, and I think that many people, you're gonna inspire many people with what you do. You are an amazing person in many ways. It's wow. Thank you for sharing this, and also your story, and
Yeah.
for the viewers now, if you are, I mean, this story has so many perspective on life, and all the setbacks and wins and everything. I think many people resonate with this story, and if it does, please subscribe to this channel. Also, where can people get in contact with you if they want to learn more about your story and also what you do, because you have some practice.
Yes. So I'm a health and fitness coach. I'm a public speaker. Yeah. So just go onto my Instagram at Kerry Barry and DM me a message, and you know, there's a book coming out very soon too. Start Over series. So get your hands on that, and that's where I really dive deep into my story and my journey back to where
And
I am
many
now.
other stories as well,
So
because
yeah. Oh, many other stories. Yeah, I could be here for a week explaining all the things that, you know, I conquered and been through. But, you know, I don't have
No, but
that
we
much
can
time.
make another
Yeah,
episode, new episode.
we can make more time. We can make more
Yeah,
time in the
absolutely. And
future.
we
But
have
yeah,
been talking now for an hour, and I would like to leave you with this,
yeah,
and you viewers, because thank you again. I think that we will do a recap and perhaps do some kind of new episode around this, because you have so many
yeah.
parts in your story that could be in other episodes. So of course, we stay in touch with that. So I would like to thank you again, and thank you for listening, the viewers, and have a nice day, and until next time. Yeah.
thank you very much, Dina, and good luck with your
Thank you.
podcast. Stress and purpose in life. It's that's got a great ring to it. You're doing well. Keep it up. Keep going, and you'll reach the top. You'll reach
Thank you
those
very
stars.
much.
So keep
Thank
it
you
up.
so much.